Is the U.S. okay with Iran participating because it can't really stop it from participating? In other words, is the U.S. forced to include Iran in the process?
No, this isn't about being forced either to include or exclude anybody, nor is it about certainly coercion to attend. An invitation was extended to Iran, and they accepted it. This isn't about force. I think it represents where we are in the political diplomatic process. I think I know where you're going with your question. If you're trying to imply that Russia's military activities in Syria sort of drove us to this end, I would disabuse you of that notion right off the bat.
I wasn't even implying, actually. I was not.
Okay. Well, then good. Then I got my point out anyway.
He was going to say it straight out.
Well, you got me, Matt.
Everything has to come back to Russia, right?
Well, I'm just assuming that with you, it kind of does. And that's fair. That's completely fair. But for you to ask the question, even though you didn't. But we are getting into Neverland here today. But I think the Secretary believes, and I don't want to speak for the other foreign ministers, but I think it's fair to say that many of them feel we are at a point now with the diplomatic process that it makes sense to include more participants. And then we'll see what the next meetings hold. It doesn't mean that every multilateral meeting after this one's going to have as many participants. I think you're going to see participation come and go as appropriate. There'll be smaller meetings, there'll be larger meetings, and believe me, as I said yesterday, there's going to be much more discussion to be had here. This is the very complicated process, certainly a very complicated situation in Syria. Everybody's mindful of that, and everybody's mindful that not everybody shares the same view on Bashar al-Assad or what the future of Syria should look like. That's why it's so important to get these players at the table to talk about it.
Thanks for thank you.
No, let me
Thank you.
let me go to her still.
Oh, I thought she was saying thank you.
She was saying thank you, but she had her hand up because she wanted to say thank you and then ask
I
another
thought she was
question.
saying
That's
thank
right.
you for your
That was right.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, but
Well, thank you for answering the question I didn't ask.
Nick,
But
just tug on his
another
sleeve
one.
and wake him up
This-
every now and then, and it's just so he stays with
Thank
us.
you. Yes. This morning, RT
Go ahead.
interviewed. Can I?
Go ahead.
May I? Thank you.
It's certainly not difficult to see and hear which establishment administer and run the not-so-covert program. I read this as not only staged and rehearsed, but also as a sad attempt to provoke a response, which is evidently going to be used as justification for the already extrajudicial persecution of a foreign citizen to the United States, for no other reason than the contradiction and the defiance of this person, whom is being spoken about esoterically. You might ask, who is this foreign citizen whom is being interjected into all these geopolitical situations? But you already know this question, so don't ask it. And even such non-aggressive statement of fact as this one will be deemed an attack on the United States, which is why John Kirby, the representative of the State Department, is provoking a response, because they would like some justification for what they already are doing. And since none such justification exists organically, they have to either self-create it or provoke it. So what's the point of this statement of mine, one could think? I'm putting this out there so it can serve as an example of what already has been established as fact on many other occasions.